Lately, the Republicans have been recycling a old Ronald Reagan political slogan, asking the public if they're better off now than they were 4 years ago. But here's the thing about that slogan, using that slogan today. 4 years ago, we had a pandemic. But these dum-dums never look anything up. Case in point, this is Scott Baio, who apparently never looked up the word republic.
Gulag overlord and actor Scott Baio is here. What kind of punishments will you be administering to these Hollywood Kamala lovers as the overlord of the Gulag?
First of all, excuse the beard and getting ready to start a film. It's good to see you. I have a film coming out September 12th. God's Not Dead, In God We Trust, September.
Humble brag. You know, I've heard of those movies. It's like a franchise, right? It's like a series. There's like 5 of them or something like that. 4 or 5 of them. 5 of them. I think there's 5 of them. All I know is the whole series kicked off because some spoiled rich kid of a Russian gangster and his crew, this kid and his crew broke into God's house and stole his car and killed his dog, and everybody thought God was dead. But no, God's back, and he's killing everybody.
Scott Baio is the Antichrist!
If I was the overlord of these people, I would sit them all down and teach them that America is a representative republic.
Scott Baio is the Antichrist!
That's right, Bobcat. Scott Baio is the Antichrist, but he's also correct here. We are a representative republic, which is another way of saying that we're a democracy. We elect representatives, and a republic is really just any system that does not derive its powers from a monarch.
Scott Baio is the Antichrist!
Ours is a democratic republic, or a constitutional republic, or you could just call it a democracy for short. But Republicans don't look words up. They just assume that because it's the first 8 letters of the word Republican, that a republic is whatever it is that they stand for at the moment. To them, a republic is any form of government that bans tampons from bathrooms.
Teach them that America is a representative republic, that this country, from its inception, was a MAGA country and has been that way for 200 plus years. And what MAGA means to me, Jesse, is God-fearing, powerful, prosperous, and safe.
Scott Baio would sound so much smarter if he never spoke to anyone ever. If by MAGA he means white male supremacy, then yes, in a sense, he's right. This country was founded on MAGA principles. But just because subjugating women and enslaving, owning people, whatever, makes you feel safe, that doesn't mean safety is in the Constitution. The right to safety is not in the Constitution. None of the stuff he named is in the Constitution. But in the preamble of the Constitution, it does say, "We the people," not Scott Baio the people. We also have a First Amendment that guarantees a right to petition the government. In fact, the mere existence of a Bill of Rights implies a democracy. Because how are you supposed to protect your own rights unless you have the power to elect people to represent you? Then you got your 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law. That means everybody gets an equal vote. That means democracy.
Scott Baio is the Antichrist!
That's right, Bobcat. Scott wants to take us back to the days before the 14th Amendment, before the 13th Amendment. What Scott and his gang would refer to as the happy days. But because of our Constitution, that is not the natural order of things. Our trajectory is to gain more freedom, not less. To Scott Baio, a republic means being ruled over by an unelected elite of morons. But according to our Constitution, a republic means more checks and balances on the Supreme Court, eliminating the Electoral College, criminalizing voter suppression. By the way, do you know why only Republicans get busted for voter fraud? Because they're the only ones dumb enough to believe that people get away with voter fraud. And the reason they believe that is because assholes like Scott Baio tell them that, and they never bother to look anything up.
Scott Baio is the Antichrist!
That's right, Bobcat. He is the Antichrist. But you know what? I can separate the art from the artist. And Scott Baio, in 1976, was in a movie with Jodie Foster called Bugsy Malone. And that movie needs to be streaming on Netflix or something. It's a gangster movie. It takes place in 1929, and all the gangsters and all the flappers are played by kids. And it's a musical. But the kids don't sing. They lip sync adults who do the singing. And in the movie, there's a gang war. But they don't use bullets and they don't use knives. They attack each other with pies. They have Tommy guns that shoot pies. Now, I know some of you might be thinking that this isn't a real movie, that this is probably just a dream that I had. And for a while, I thought that myself. I thought it was some kind of Mandela effect that this movie existed. But it's a real movie. I looked it up.